you do, doing what you do. Just keep on doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do, doing what you do. Do what you like, do what you like to do, do what you like, do what you like, do what you like to do.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. You're probably wondering, based on the title of this video, what in the world is this video about? And it is packed full of cleaning motivation, and if you have been here before, you know that I like to motivate you and just make you feel important and connected in all different aspects of your life. So in this video, I am just picking up a ton of messes that my kids have left. I'm folding a ton of laundry, giving you all this motivation. And while I was just in my thoughts doing all of this, I just had an overwhelming sense of mom guilt flow over me. And I know that I'm not the only person who has ever experienced this or whoever will experience this. So I do have a story about that, and hopefully it can help you in any way if you've ever experienced any of these emotions. I will get into that a little bit later, but if you are new here, my name is Michelle. I'm a mom of two small girls, Sailor, who is 3, and Savannah, who is 21 months old. I'm going to get started first in the master bedroom, where I'm just going to make the bed and fold everything. That way I can get ready to do some serious laundry. Before I do that though, I'm going to open up the blinds and wipe down some of our windowsills, where we just get so many different types of bugs and dirt, and I don't clean it as often as I should.
About anyone who brings us down.
If you happen to have a chance to see my pantry reorganization video, I mentioned this traumatizing story about having pantry moths all over, and it took forever to get rid of them. And then also in one of my other videos, I stated that we had a mouse in our house, and it's interesting to see how many other people have experienced similar things. But in my pantry organization video, I had received a comment. I had stated that we had the exterminator come out, and I had him look at some of the bugs that were in our pantry, and they responded back, you know, do not ever use an exterminator. They are so harmful. All of the chemicals they use are just really harmful to you and your family. And I had to point out that I really don't use them on the inside. I just use them to help exterminate on the outside. So actually, speaking of that, I recently got this BugMD to try out, and it's essential oil powered, and it's super safe to use. It even says you can use it on vegetables, and safe for your kids and pets to use around the house. There's only 2 ingredients, and it's made with 50% clove oil and 50% cottonseed oil. Some of the insects that it fights against are fleas, mice, ticks, household roaches, bed bugs, and more. And I actually have an interesting and disgusting tick story to share as well. It's actually really easy to use. So there is a label spray bottle so that you don't have to use disposable bottles, but it also comes with a concentrate bottle. So all you have to do is mix the whole bottle of concentrate into the spray bottle, and then you're going to fill the spray bottle up with water. I just used warm water and then filled it up to the top. Next, I'm just mixing the solution with the water a little bit, and then I plan to go and use it around the baseboards. I smelt it there because it actually smelled really good, because it's just made with pure essential oils. But I typically see most of our bugs in either the baseboards or in like our windowsill areas. So I plan to just go spray a little bit on some of the windowsills where I see the majority of the bugs. And it was just a coincidence. When I lifted up the blinds in our dining room, I actually saw a little ant kind of crawling around there, and I decided this is like a perfect time to actually try it out and see if it really works. So I just sprayed like 1 or 2 squirts directly onto the ant to see if it would actually work. I was super surprised because it was probably less than a minute, it had killed the ant. That just goes to show that you don't need all these toxic chemicals to keep insects out of your house. What I really like and recommend about BugMD is that it is super easy to use without harming your kids, and the number one thing is that it's made from purely essential oils. Also, as you saw, it was fast and effective. So be sure to click on the link below to get 20% off of your BugMD Essential Pest Control Spray today.
Yeah, he sets my body in motion. He knows how to turn things up. And he knows what gets me going. Yeah, like a little text saying, hey, what's up? They look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us, thinking we are too much. Look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking at us. Why do I need to be good all the time? I'm wrapped around his finger, but he is mine. Don't care what they say, too late anyway. Why do I need to be good all the time? Yeah, he gets when I'm in a bad mood. Then he knows how to make it alright. Yeah, I get that he got a history, but I don't wanna think about no other than us. They look at me, I'm in a bad situation. Look at him, he's got a bad reputation. They be looking.
So if you can't already tell, I have tons of laundry to do. I fell behind over the last couple of days, and now it's time to finally catch up on that. So I was sitting here doing laundry actually when I got the idea to do this video and talk about something that I thought was just really important. In one of my previous videos, I opened up a little bit about a struggle that I had, and I got a lot of positive feedback, and I actually had a lot of you say that it had helped you and that you want to hear more about struggles and overcoming struggles. So I thought that this might be helpful to share. I see a lot of other mom life cleaning videos out there. I think Becky Moss has an excellent one. You should go check hers out. And it's like this community that we can all kind of talk and relate to and just feel like we're connected and not alone. But one thing that is a little bit different that I haven't shared too much, I just didn't know how relevant it really was, is that I'm not a stay-at-home mom. I am working from home because of COVID, and I am not the picture-perfect homemaker either. Hence why I ask you guys for so much advice when cleaning certain things, because although I know how to do the basics, I just have always been so tied into my work, and this is the most ever in my life that I probably have been home. I mentioned before that I had worked my way through college, and my dream was always to be a working mom or a working woman, and I always wanted a corner office. I wanted to be a leader. I wanted to be someone who was very successful, and I feel like I've accomplished a lot of the things that I've wanted. I worked really hard in my career to be where I wanted to be, and then I got pregnant. I knew that I wanted to stay working, and while I was pregnant with Sailor, I had a lot of questions from people like, why aren't you going to stay home with your kid? Why wouldn't you at least take a year or two off? Or why are you really going to send your kid to daycare? Do you really want someone else raising your child? I remember feeling so confident in my decision to keep on working, but I just had this overwhelming feeling of guilt. I remember feeling so judged sometimes for wanting to go back to something that made me me and something that I had worked so hard for. I got to stay home with both of my daughters for about 8 months combined, so I got a little bit of taste of what stay-at-home mom was like as well. And when people say being a stay-at-home mom is the hardest job in the world, that is no joke. It is beyond difficult because you have so much guilt and judgment being a stay-at-home mom as well. When I was at home not working, I had a sense of judgment, like, am I not contributing enough? Am I not working hard enough? People would think, what do you do all day? You're just sitting at home all day. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. I'm not thinking. I can't even breastfeed correctly. Like, everything was just all off. I felt guilty for ever asking for help because, you know, as a mom, you think that we have to have it all together all the time. And the truth is that we don't. And the thing is that we're all in this together. Being a stay-at-home mom is difficult. A working mom is difficult. They are different types of hard, but one hard doesn't make the other hard any easier. The thing that I have learned is to not judge any other mom, because you don't know what situation they're in, what they've been through, what they're struggling with. They are having their own kind of hard. The one thing that we can do is empathize. We can trade judgment for empathy. If I were in your shoes, it would be such a struggle. And you know what? I'm here for you. I'm listening. I know. I have also learned to not let guilt, judgment ever cross my mind. For example, the very first day that I dropped Sailor off at her first day of daycare, she was just a baby in the infant room, and I was leaving to go to my first day of work, and I was so confident in my decision, like I said before, but I just had this shame come through me, like, what am I doing? Why am I dropping her off? She needs to be with me. But I remember when we went to meet the teachers for the first time, the teacher held her and just looked at her and smiled. And I screenshotted that picture in my head. So anytime throughout the day that I just felt like, what is she doing? Is she okay? That picture would instantly pop into my mind. I would not let a negative feeling or negative thought cross my mind. I would count down from 5, change my thought, think of that picture, and just know that she's okay. And, you know, it's okay to take time to yourself sometimes. It's okay to go to work. It's okay to go for a walk. It's okay to go get a massage or do something for yourself. We shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to do some things for ourselves. We can love our child and love ourselves at the same time and not feel like we can only choose one or the other. Next time you feel a sense of mom guilt come through, just remember that you can love yourself too and love your kid, and you can go for a walk. You can take time to yourself. You can screenshot that moment of your child, so if any of those emotions come through, you just reject them and you just put in a positive moment. And trust me, you will feel so much better and so much less guilty. But if you've ever experienced any type of mom guilt and you found any of this helpful, then leave me a comment below. I would love to know that it is a little bit helpful. But thank you guys for listening. That was a long stretch of talking. So now I promise I'm going to get back into the cleaning. So I picked up most of the toys that were in the living room and I just piled everything to the stairs. I am bringing everything upstairs. The playroom is actually a complete disaster. I don't end up getting to it this day, but I do get to it the next day. Here I'm switching out some of the girls' artwork, some of their recent artwork from school. I have this little collage in the game room and I just put their artwork there. So Sailor got into the Play-Doh and that sadly sat in our house overnight, so it's actually hardened up a little bit, which is kind of good. So I finally cleaned up that Play-Doh and I am tackling the dishes next.
Believe me when I say that you can tell me anything. I can see it in your eyes that you're shaking 'cause you're holding it back. Your mind, now I'm here by your side. So let it all out of me. Let it all out of me.
I'm filling up our ice tray, I don't know about you guys, but we have a Samsung refrigerator, and I feel like a lot of people I know with Samsung refrigerators, their ice machine always goes out. So ours will go out, and then I don't know what my husband does, but he fixes it, and then it'll go out again, and I'm not sure what's up with it. But does anyone else have issues with their ice maker, or what causes it to go out or stop working so much? Leave me a comment below and let me know.
You in the dark, make you forget about what's wrong. Let it all out of me. I wanna be a weekend lover. Yeah, I'ma be the best damn lover you got.
Since in my last few videos I have been tackling some of the drawers and cabinets in our kitchen, now all of the other kitchen cabinets are super annoying me, so I think that I'm just going to spend a day and just tackle all of the kitchen cabinets and do a complete kitchen organization, because it is just starting to bother me now. So hopefully I can get that video up pretty soon.
Feel on your body, paper dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling.
So this is the V8 cordless Dyson vacuum, and we actually had the V7 as well. We got it from Costco a long time ago, and I absolutely love this vacuum. But I know that a lot of other channels, they use the Dyson V10 animal cordless vacuum, and if anyone has ever owned both the V8 and the V10, can you let me know in the comments below if you think that the V10 is worth the extra splurge, just because I'm really curious if there is a difference between the two.
The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, I'm the best thing that has ever happened to you. Here's your time to shine, now show me what you can do. Make a move, the way my hands feel on your body, the way we're dancing in the dark. With every move I make, you're falling. The way my lips feel on your body, the way we're moving in the dark. With every breath we take, you're falling. With every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making, with every breath that we're taking, with every step you're falling in love. With every move that I'm making,
Next, I am going to get to the playroom. I have the kids with me, so I have asked them to help out a little bit, and we'll see how they do. So first thing first, they think that it is so funny to get the balls from the ball pit and throw them over the balcony and make a mess all over the living room. And somebody asked me before, do you ever tell your kids no, or tell them not to do it? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I tell them no every single day. But sometimes kids will just be kids. And I've also just found, for me personally, if they are doing something that is not dangerous and it is distracting them for a minute while I get something else done, then I will just let them do it. I will let them make the mess, and I can clean it up later. Unless it's like a catastrophic mess, I just find it easier to just let them do it and then try and pick it up later.
Your hands touching my hand, want your fingers everywhere. Don't wanna wake up. Wish that I was brave, but I've never been the one. Wish that we could stay like this, I wanna stay. Wish that I was brave, but I've never.
Some people ask how long does it usually take for me to pick up the playroom, and it's really not too long. Once I get going, I would say between an hour to an hour and a half, just depending on how much clutter there is. But when I have the girls helping me, it tends to take a little bit longer. Even though I am trying to teach them to pick up things, they get distracted very easily and then quickly go start making a mess again. So if I do it by myself, I would say between an hour and a half. When they are helping, it's probably closer to 1 to 2 hours. I did an extreme toy organizing, I think it was back in October, and I did a video on that because we had a lot of toys downstairs in bins, and the toys would just get shoved on the bins and I wouldn't even know what was in them. So I cleared out a ton of toys, and it's been really manageable the way that I've been doing it now. I have clear containers so that I can see what toys there are. I do rotate some toys downstairs, although I should do it more often than I do now. But having a system and knowing what toys I have and where each toy goes really helps when I'm trying to clean up the mess.
Wish I got superpowers.
The next thing that I ended up deciding to do was actually vacuum up and shampoo the upstairs. The upstairs had not been shampooed in a really long time because now that the girls are getting a little bit older, they're playing a lot more upstairs than they do downstairs. So I decided that it was a good time to take care of that.
A penny for your thought. I wanna know what's inside that heart of yours. Ooh, I feel paper thin. Ooh.
I'm moving some stuff out of the way, but I'm not going to completely clean out the playroom in order to do this. So I'm just going to do the main areas because those are probably the dirtiest.
Ooh, but underneath I know you're hiding something. Do you let anyone get under your skin? I just wanna get to know you, so would you let me get to know you, boy? You feel so far away, though you're close. There's your heart that I want.
This shampooer, it's the Bissell Pet Pro shampooer, and it just leaves the best vacuum marks, or should I say shampoo marks, and it's just super satisfying. I use the cordless Dyson vacuum upstairs. Usually when I'm just doing a quick clean, I'll use that vacuum. I like that it's cordless, quick and easy. But if I plan on doing like a deep vacuum, then I like to use my Shark. I don't have the deep clean Dyson vacuum. I'm not sure if it's worth the splurge. So if you are familiar with that and you've used it and you think it's worth the splurge, then leave me a comment below. Otherwise, I'll just stick to my Shark for deep vacuuming. I haven't used a ton of other kinds of shampooers, but this one is by far my favorite. It works great and I like it. So for now, I don't see a reason to change.
Would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy?
This area that I'm vacuuming here is like the entryway to the playroom, so I expect this to be a lot more dirty than the actual playroom. I actually wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't think that it would be that dirty at all, just because we haven't been upstairs a whole lot, but I was surprised to see that it was pretty dirty. But I have said this before, the darker the water, the better I feel, because that just means that it is all clean and it makes me feel so good.
So, would you let me get to know you, boy? Would you let me get to know you, boy?
Lastly, I'm going to show you guys what I made for dinner. Sometimes I like to organize my meals in this little tray. So for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, whichever nights I'm cooking, I just kind of separate it. Tonight, I'm going to be cooking a turkey taco chili. I am all for super easy meals, and this one is very easy. All you do is put in half of an onion. Then you're going to add the ground turkey. I put it just directly in the bowl. Let that fully cook for a few minutes. Once that's fully cooked, then I add the rest of the ingredients, which is super easy. It is just a tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 packet of taco seasoning, 1 packet of the ranch seasoning. Then you're going to just mix all of that up with the meat. This recipe is actually on the Jenny O's turkey meat, and I kind of just changed it up a little bit with whatever ingredients that I had, but I've had it before and it is super good. Next, you're going to do 4 cups of broth. I use chicken broth, and that just ends up being the whole container. And next, you're going to add 1 can of corn. Make sure you drain it. I didn't drain it before I did this. And also 1 can of rotel, and then 2 cans of beans. I use pinto beans. I think the recipe says to use black beans as well. And then you just let it cook for 20 to 30 minutes. And I am going to end the video here, but thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed and click that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much.
So let me put a smile upon your face.